Okay guys, we'll just call this vid changes. I've made some changes, and one of them is I found a set of 2004 KZGs that I used to have years ago. Brand new, they got dynamic gold stiff shafts in them. And you'll say, well, Bill, why'd you get stiff shafts? Well, in irons, it's all about accuracy. And the stiffer up to a point, the stiffer it is for me, the better I can control it. Now, I can't go out and hit an extra stiff or something like that if that's, a real heavy shaft, because I just can't get it in there. It just goes, about knee high. But anyway, that's what I got. Now, I had all of them bent. I've got the 4-iron through the 58 degree or sand wedge, and I had them all bent to where when the club set on the ground, we used a laser that we ran on a surface, and we got them level with the ground. In other words, it's parallel to the ground. So, I had them bent certain degrees. I don't know what it is because there's no standards on them. So they're bent all the same as far as that's concerned. Now, I've got them from the 4 all the way down, and the 4-iron is at 20 degree loft, and then it goes to 24 degree loft 5-iron, and so on and so forth. 4 degrees for each iron all the way down to the sand wedge. So that'll be perfect. All right, hadn't even hit them yet. And while I was in there, the guy said, "Hey Bill, I see you here at Callaway Woods. How about a brand new Callaway smoked driver?" I said, I need a driver about like I need a nail in my head. But anyway, he said, "Well, let's fit you for it." I said, "Okay, what are we gonna do?" He said, "I'm gonna put you on the launch monitor." Well, we took the driver that I was hitting. It had a stiff shaft in it. It was the Rogue, and compared it against what we came up with here. So I was fitted with a driver. For the first time in my life, I was fitted with a driver. And I must say that it outperformed the Rogue, the one I had before, really, really outshined it. Okay, the launch angle was perfect, 13.5 degrees. Spin rate was like 2,065. It was just, everything was good about it. Okay, so, and the carry distance on this one versus the Rogue was about 12 to 17 yards, depending on what swing we used. But in between, it carried another 12 to 15 yards that we found out. So anyway, that's what we did. So I've got all my clubs fitted for me right now, so I ought to play good golf, right? All right, the next thing I changed was my grip. Okay, I'm not 10-fingered, but I've taken my lead hand and I've moved the thumb off the grip. I got it completely off the grip. I found out that if you got your thumb on the grip with either hand on the grip, it's more in your fingers. I don't want it more in my fingers. I want it more on this part of my pad, not the high. If I got it up here, it's too high. Okay, so I've got it down here, and that feels great. And the thing about it is, I like to, you remember me talking about coming up under the grip to take your grip? Well, if I've got my hand on it this way, I can take this part of my hand right here, and I can put it right on the top of that thumb, and I'm under the grip the way I want to be each and every time. I ain't got to think about coming up under here. I just put it on like this. I'm good to go. So that's my grip, and so far it's worked out great. So you can change stuff around. Okay, it's not all in concrete. Well, that was another change I made. Now I've been hitting balls for the last 2 weeks, damn near every day. I'm not going to hit the day, but I've been hitting balls every day, trying things out and seeing, if it proves out if it's going to work or not. And so these are some of the stuff that I've done to change that I know is going to work. Now, the other change that I've been working on is one Joe Barnes and I are going to share with you, and that's got to do with internal and external muscles. I think Lee calls it the trains or whatever. But what you got to understand is there's internal and external muscles, okay? And let me give you an example. Your tailbone, okay, if I'm standing here like this, and you're looking at me like this, and you can see through me, my tailbone is like this, okay? That's the last vertebrae of my tailbone, okay? Now, I used it internally and externally to hit golf shots the other day, and I just killed, doesn't matter which way you do it, you still hit the ball good. Now, what I'd do is I'd tuck it one time on the start of the swing, hold it, and then I would let it go this way, coming back to the ball. So I was using internal, that was in front of me to bring the club back, and then I'd do this, and I was using my back muscles. I could feel it, okay? That's one example. And then I took it the other way, and I said, okay, I'm going to push it out, my tailbone out, and then when I come back to the ball, I'm gonna tuck it under. That worked too. The problem, what I'm seeing with golf now is we're using muscle. Okay, everybody's trying to move the skeleton and joints, okay, instead of the muscles. The muscles is what makes the skeleton and the joints move, okay? And we've been trying to move the skeleton and the joints and not even paying attention to the muscles, okay, which do all the work anyway. And with the internal and external motion, or muscle groups, what happens is when they're used correctly in the cycle that they're supposed to be used, what they're doing is protecting, especially with the big muscles, it's protecting your spine. With the little muscles, it's protecting your joints, okay? That's why people get, tennis elbow and everything else, because they're using muscles that they shouldn't be using because they don't understand how to use them to keep from injuring themselves. Oh, this is so hard to explain, but it's so daggum easy to do once you understand it. So, and I remember Lee said, I just don't miss shots anymore. I think this is one of the reasons why he doesn't. Okay, he knows this, or he may not, but I can see why he would say it if he knows this, and I think he does. I think that's what his secret is all about, is knowing how to use these muscles. And the thing about it is, he said, well, I can go out and I can hit 5 balls on the driving range before I play. I know what pattern I'm looking for. Well, what he's telling me is what cycle am I going to use today? There's all kind of cycles that you can use internally and externally muscles. And the one that you use, or one that you're concentrating on and trying to find it, to feel it, you got to feel it. You can't find it, it's a feel. And that day, he may play with that set of internal and external muscles, okay? And the next day, he may play with another. That's what's so damn good about this, guys, is that You have choices, and you can find them once you understand what the internal and external muscles do and how they work and how it can help you. It's just like the arm, okay, like I told you the other day, okay? I was flexing, like I was trying to make a muscle coming back, and then when I came back to the ball, I unflexed it, and these muscles kicked in, okay? That's internal and external muscles. And I was just killing it, all right? But you can't use internal to internal. You can't use external to external, okay? It doesn't work. It will not ever work that way. It's gotta be one of those because they're trying to work against each other for tension that's being put on that muscle group to protect your joints or your spine. That's the best way I can explain it. Now, Joe's going to explain it a hell of a lot better later. So anyway, y'all stay tuned for that because this is probably the biggest discovery I have made in golf. And I've been playing golf for many years, okay? And you can actually take this along with the other knowledge that we've already covered. And you talking about building a foundation that can't be beat. I mean, it can't be beat. Now, I'll say another thing. After discovering these internal and external muscles and how to use them in hitting balls, I became sore in places I have never felt before because I have never used those muscles in my golf swing, okay? And you will feel that. You will feel it because you'll feel them fire. You'll feel them on fire. All of this, oh man, I just wish that we could get this thing started and really get you on the path of what I'm talking about because to me, this is the most exciting thing I have ever found in my life, okay? And I hope you understand too about the release. You got to know which release you are. You know, go back and look at the video that I did yesterday. That's very important. If you're taking the club back and it's open and you're coming back to the ball and that toe's a little bit open to the target line, there ain't no way in hell you're going to push slap that ball. You've got to learn how to take the club back closed with the toe close to the target line to be able to make that push slap. That's it, period. Or do everything else we're doing and go ahead and play like this. You can do that too. The roll release, okay? All right, I'll let you go. It's a little bit longer vid than I'm used to doing, but I'm kind of excited about what we've found, what I discovered, and I just want to share it with you guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye.